So I've been playing Mouse PI for Hire. It's this black and white cartoon first person shooter, almost like Steamboat Willie picked up a Tommy gun. It's set in a city called Mouseburg in the 1930s. Cheese is illegal, cops are on the take, and there's this mayoral race heating up. And the whole place is rotting from the inside. On the surface, it's this noir style shooter, but the main character is actually doing something I haven't been able to stop thinking about. I won't spoil the case for you. I actually want you to play it. It's a fun game. But I want to talk about who Jack Pepper is and where he set up shop, because that part, the setup, the choice he made before the events of the game even start, is making an argument that most of you are not going to want to hear. Here's a little bit of background on Jack before we jump in. He went to war, he came back a hero, he joined the police force, and it's every single metric your LinkedIn would want you to have. He was hitting them, the medals, the title, the authority, the trajectory. And then he caught his old war buddy doing something dirty. Instead of arresting him, he looked the other way. One time, one favor, he said, "I owe him for the trenches, I'll let it slide." And he couldn't live with it. So he turned in his badge. He quit the climb mid-rung. And he became a private investigator who had a real gambling problem, and his pistol was a war trophy. His office is one room. The bar downstairs is owned by a shrew named John Brown, and the shrews in this city are the ones nobody wants to be living next door to. But here's the interesting part. Jack picked that office on purpose. Sit with this for a second. If you opened a leadership book tomorrow, it would tell you to scale, to build your platform, to grow your reach, to hire a team, to get a bigger office, better address, climb. That's the whole game. Climb the ladder at this point. Jack climbed. Jack got to the top of his ladder, and then he climbed down. The office above the bar isn't some sort of state of failure for Jack. It's a deliberate choice. And you'll understand why when you watch who walks through the door in the first hour of the game. First is a journalist named Wanda. She has the leads that nobody else will print, and she trusts him because he's not connected to anyone she'd have to write about. And then there's this kid named Tammy. She's in his life because years ago, when Jack was still a cop, he arrested her stepdad, and he's been looking out for her ever since. She fixes his guns now, family by accident. And then there's a politician named Cornelius Stilton. He's running for mayor, dodging an assassination attempt, and he comes to Jack for help. A guy with no badge and a bar tab. Why? Because everyone with a badge, in this city in particular, is on somebody's payroll, and Jack isn't on anyone's. Look at that. A reporter, a kid he quietly raised, a politician with a target on his back. None of them go to City Hall. None of them go to the police precinct. They walk up the stairs above the bar in a part of town nobody important lives in. Read that list again. None of them are walking through the bar because Jack failed at ambition. They're walking through that door because of where he chose to put it. Most of you are being told every single day that the size of your platform is the size of your impact. And if you're not scaling, you're failing. That the right algorithm rewards loudness, and loudness is leadership. And the goal is to climb until everyone can see you. Jack's whole life is a counter argument to that. When you climb, and look, sometimes you should climb, you trade something for that height. You trade access, you trade trust. You trade the kind of room where someone will tell you the actual truth instead of the version they think you want to hear. The higher you go, the more curated the information gets. By the time you're at the top, you're getting a version of reality that's been polished by everyone underneath you. Jack stayed where the floor is sticky and where everybody knows his name. So when something starts to rot in the city, and it is rotting in this game, you can smell it from his window. The corrupt cops in the city can't see what's happening because they're inside of it. The politicians can't see it because they're profiting from it. Stilton, the candidate for mayor, can't see all the way down. He needs Jack to be his eyes at street level. And let's be real, Jack does not have a lot of virtues, but he does have the vantage point. And that vantage point came from staying close to the ground on purpose. Now let me be honest with you for a moment, because I know how this sounds. I'm not saying ambition is bad, or that you should fail on purpose, or that you should throw your career away because some sort of cartoon detective did it. None of that. I'm telling you that staying close to the ground is important. Refusing the bigger office when the bigger office would put you somewhere you can't hear your people anymore, that takes work. Staying in the group chat when someone might tell you you're wrong, even after you've outgrown those people on paper, that takes work. So does letting your title get so big that nobody under it feels safe knocking at your door. So does keeping an office, metaphorical or literal, that's accessible to people who don't have anything to offer you. None of that is what your trajectory wants from you. Most people climb because they're afraid of being small. Jack climbed once, and the climb made him a little bit dirty. It made him the guy who would look the other way for an old friend. He came down because that's where he could be honest. If you're young, you're being told that the climb is the only valid story. You're being shown people on your phone every single day who got bigger, got louder, got further from the people that they started with. And you're being told implicitly that this is what success looks like. Jack's office above the bar says, maybe success is staying where people who actually need you can find you. Maybe the leader your community needs is the one who didn't move out of the neighborhood when they could have. Anybody can climb. Almost nobody chooses to stay. The next time you feel that pressure, the pressure to scale, to climb, to get bigger, to make sure everyone can see you, ask yourself one question. If I climb this rung, can the people who still need me reach me? If the answer's yes, climb, and climb hard. If the answer's no, and you climb anyway, you're gonna end up like every other person in Mouseburg who got too high to see what's happening down on the street. The office above the bar is a choice. It's not the only one, but it's a real one. And nobody on your feed is going to recommend it to you. That's why I am.